right, 3 o'clock in the morning. You woke me up out of my sleep. Kids sleep, wife sleep. This gotta be important. My God. That's what we dealing with. Presidential regrets. I understand. You know what? It's crazy. People, a lot of times I deal with people, right? And I run across so many people and they always talking this and that, and I don't have any regrets. I don't live with no regrets. I regret nothing in life. Everything is everything. And that's BS to me because on the real, I live with regrets. I've done some things I'm proud of. I've done some things I am not proud of. You know, I got some things that would make my parents and my family happy and proud, and some things that will quite frankly make them sad. But I'm a man of mistakes. I'm a man that's done my share of mistakes, plenty of them, continuing to make them, continuing to trip and fall, you know. But I get it. Presidential regrets. You called me out here to talk. Okay, well, let's talk. What's hurting you? What's feeding you? I mean, what's on your mind? What's going on, man? I see blood on your hands. Yeah, we all got blood on our hands. All of us. None of us walk around innocent. All of us have blood on our hands. You just have a little bit more. Honestly, the position you in, the things you have to do, the decisions you have to make, so many people's lives that's bent off the decisions you make that hang in the balance of survival, life or death. You got a lot of blood on your hands. You got a lot to live with. It's crazy. You know, you go to sleep with a lot of demons. And I understand when you do some things you're not happy of, you do some things you're not proud of, it keep you up at night. And regardless of what anybody can see, no one sees you waking up in cold sweats. No one sees, you know, the hauntings of the spirits and the souls of the families that's been eradicated due to the decisions that you have to make because of the position. The things that go on behind doors that you don't see, or, you know, I understand. I mean, what are we talking about though? We talking about the entire Middle East, you know, how we sent out drone strikes over the whole Middle East, drone strike schools where children were. You know, and it's funny, you know, people look and they say, wow, Obama's supposed to be for the children and for life and for all these other things. And then there you go. You'll have to basically drop a command to go and drone strike an entire area and innocent children die. I mean, when we look at the Middle East, the way we've ran through there, the way we've done those people, I get it. There's some people over there. You got radicalized groups and, you know, some of those crazy leaders, but those leaders keep a lid on all the crazies that's over there. You can deal with a million different crazy type of people and terrorists, or you could just deal with one that's over all of them. And that's why you're supposed to keep somebody like that in charge, you know? I don't know, man. It's a tough walk that you have to walk, you know? The decisions that you've made in this country have cost people their lives, you know? You've been involved in every scandal that's happened at the White House, you know? It is what it is. We want to talk about Benghazi. Hillary Clinton pretty much took that up on her own, but at the end of the day, let's face it, you were involved and there were innocent soldiers that died. And people say, yeah, I know the soldiers, they signed up for this, you know, but realistically, at the end of the day, the soldiers didn't sign up to die for political reasons. They don't necessarily sign up to die because of some rich person's war. They don't necessarily sign up to give their heart, to give their soul, blood, sweat, and tears to follow unconstitutional commands and do things that's unconstitutional. Here we are, we moving guns from the White House command down through our military, moving all these arms and small arms into all these other countries and all these other places. And who has to transport those? Our soldiers, mixed up in something they shouldn't be mixed up in. Drugs, we play a hand in that, we play a role in that. I know that, you know that. Quite frankly though, I'll be honest with you. The position you in, I don't want it. The decisions you have to make, I don't want to make those. The corporate pressure that you under, you know, all the deals that you struck behind closed doors with a lot of these powerful groups and organizations and corporations that you're going to have to uphold, you know. Money make the world go round. Cash rules everything around me. It was said so long ago, but that remains true to this day. You know, we can't get around it. I don't want to live with the blood that you have to live with. I don't want to have to deal with the things that you have to deal with. I don't know how you can sleep and go to bed comfortably every night knowing the lives of innocent children overseas and in this country are taken every day based on certain policies and commands that came from you. That's tough. I'm not here to make you feel bad. I'm not here to criticize you. But I'm here because you always call me to talk to you. You know, when you need somebody that's not gonna lie to you and that's gonna keep it real and not be no yes man, I'm the guy. I volunteer for that, you know. It's nothing personal. We don't have a lot in common, do we? We don't know none of the same people. We don't run in the same circles. Our ideas ain't the same. Our religious beliefs ain't the same. It's a lot of things that me and you don't have in common, that we don't believe in. But me and you both know that this world is filled with political prisons, money, and all the other unrighteous things that happen under the sun, we play a part of and we personally dealt with. Yeah, one of them nights for you, huh? You can't sleep. Got too many souls on your heart and on your conscience. Got too many bodies under your belt. Too much blood on the hands. I know. Did you know what you were actually signing up for when you took the position? I mean, of course you did, but when we talk about powerful people, Kissinger, Soros, few other people that you got tucked under the robe that nobody else really knows about or can't connect the dots to, I know, I get it. The game of politics has been here before you. It'll be here long after you. Listen to me. Sometimes it's too late to make things right with people, families, people that's been hurt by the decisions you've made. Sometimes it's too late to say I'm sorry, too late to say I was wrong. But you're never too big and too strong as a person to be able to go to the people and say, I've made a big mistake, and this is what I want to do to correct it. You're never too big as a person and as a name and a title to be able to go to people and say, hey, I was wrong. I should have did this and I did this instead. Or I know you trusted me to do this and I did this instead. You gave me all this power and responsibility and I abused it here, here, and here. You could actually do that, but you won't. I know you won't. You don't have the, first off, you're not your own man. As an individual, yes. As a husband, a father, yes, you're your own man. You run your own house, you do what you want to do. But we talk about the position you in, you owe an explanation to the American people. You owe truth to the American people. You owe some honor and a code to the American people. It ain't no way you can just sit back and allow things to happen the way they happen. You know what? America is a very strong country. One of the best places to live on earth to this day. I mean, go and travel the world. You have. Ain't no place like home, and that's for real. There's no other country I just want to go to and be in when I can have any and everything I want here. But I know you've made some promises to some really important people. You've took oaths with some very important people who pushing a strong agenda, who all about finances and all about money by all regards necessary. And they gonna get that money at the death of whoever. They don't care. It don't matter how many people die. Long as these people in power and these corporations get what they want, that's all that matters. They don't care what culture or style of life or way of life with us, the American people, that they destroy. They don't care nothing about that. All they care about is they gonna get what they want out the deal. But in regards to you and the position you have and where you stand right now, I don't know, man. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. You have to make too many decisions that get people killed. You have to make too many decisions that shifts the balances of people's lives. And the problem is not with the responsibility that you took on or the decisions that you make, but it's how the decisions are made and how they're influenced. And almost all of your decisions that you make have been influenced by this group over here or this group over here, influenced by this corporation over here and this multi-trillion-dollar company over here. Oil, money, drugs. That's the business we in. That's the game we run. That's what we do now. You know what was up. You know what you signed up for, you know. You ain't gonna get no sympathy out of me, you know. It's no sympathy out of me. But what I am saying A night like tonight, 3 going on 4 in the morning, whatever the case is, you're going to have to do some soul searching. How can you feel comfortable leaving that office knowing you did everything that was told and taught for you to do by corporate interests? How can you feel comfortable laying your head down at night knowing that as your kids tucked away and sleep comfortable at night, it's somebody else's kids somewhere that's having to deal with some issues and some real life struggles, who families on drugs, who people living in the slums and the gutters of the gutters, who education is not an option, who escaping these ghettos is not an option, who living under all this oppression and all these ideologies is not an option now, because the conditions and the stage has been set in such a way that they'll never have the opportunity to really climb that ladder. They'll never have the opportunity to really do the things they want to do, only because so much damage has been done in life. There comes a point, I promise you, when so much damage is done to a population, to a people, to a society, to a culture, through mismanagement, miseducation, and all these other things, that it'll never get back the way it was supposed to be. It'll never come back to the full flourishing that it was supposed to, Sometimes you can destroy a generation. What I'm seeing right now is the destruction of the American civilization, Golly. I'm about my money the same way you about your money. I'm about self-preservation and securing myself the same way you are, the same way any man should be for his family and what he personally owns. But when you use the people as pawns for corporate interests, when you sell off pieces of our Constitution and our rights, when you sell off the idea of safety and security, when you sell off our borders, you sell off the protection of the American people, when you make them type of cuts to our military, what do you expect? What do you think is going to happen? You're in a tough position. I know. I'm in a tough position. But you don't think I got things I'm not proud of, things I've done? It's people that I've hurt. You understand what I'm saying? There's lives that were affected by decisions that I made. Consider me, my normal, average, everyday, just little individual life. And then the recklessness and stupidity of my adolescence and my youth growing up as a young man, as a teenager. The things I did to certain people, the decisions I made that affected other people's lives to this day, I got people I know personally, friends I grew up with that's killed, went out, shot stuff up, shot people up. They sitting behind bars and they ain't coming out, I got people I know who've sold massive amounts of drugs to the communities we all live in, shook hands and went to parties and did all this with them. But they not here no more. They're serving time for the decisions that they made. I know people, moms and grandmothers right now, who cry every night because somebody I know took their son's life. And guess what? That person sit behind bars in prison. They ain't coming out. Double life sentences. Come on, man. There's people that's been affected by decisions I made in a professional setting and in a very unprofessional setting. There's women who I've hurt that I regret doing stupid stuff like that. Because as I get older and I look at the women that you run through, the lives that's affected by the decisions that you make, you look at all the hearts that you've broken, and all of a sudden you grow up and you have daughters, and then you look at your daughters in a whole different light, and you look at women in a different light, because you know that the daughter you have, somebody's hunting her the same way. It makes you feel a certain way, just being real. I live, I eat, I sleep, and I wake up every day with regrets. Things I ain't proud of, things I'm not happy of. But every day that I live my life from that day forward, that I recognized it, I lived it to make sure that never happened again. I lived it to better the situations, to be honest with all these other things, to make sure that this is not happening and going on, to actually stand for that which I didn't stand for originally. The American people spoke, man. They gave you so much leeway, so much line, so much string. They did so much. All I'm saying right now at this particular point in time in history, if you're not willing to correct some things, if you're not willing to at least go to the people and say you've messed up, you're sorry. I'm not saying that people want your apology. I'm not saying they're looking for your apology or they expect you to do anything different, because they don't. They're done. Politics will never be the same. Our country will never be the same. People don't trust politics anymore. They don't trust corporate anymore. They don't trust their jobs and employers anymore. They don't trust anymore. That's all because they gave you their heart, you know? As an example, you know when you get a woman, and you only get so many good women that come across your life. And a lot of times we as men, being younger and being immature and stupid, we destroy them women. Sad, but it's true. We do dumb stuff, make them feel a certain way, insult them, hurt them. Some men beat them. And when you've ran through the 2, 3, 4 good women that'll ever come about in your lifetime, what are you left with? You're left with nothing. Look, it's the same way with the American people. They put all their faith, their love, their hope, and their heart in your hand. And you took that and you punted that through the field goals of corporate interests. That's crazy, man. You wrote executive orders on things that you personally wanted. You wrote you used executive power, and you wrote executive orders on everything that you personally wanted and everything that you had a corporate and personal interest in. And one of your corporate buddies had an interest in. That's what you did with your corporate powers. But you didn't write off corporate powers, and you didn't use, executive order to fix the problems with our school systems. You didn't use executive power to fund the schools that needed it the most. You didn't use executive powers to limit the power that certain corporations have and how they deal with people. You didn't use your executive powers to make sure people don't starve no more, to make sure people in this country are clothed and fed. You didn't use your executive powers to take care of all our ex-military and all our veterans that suffer and go through and don't have nothing every day because they beaten up from war. You didn't use your executive powers to help and heal racism. You didn't use your executive powers to separate the things that need to be separated and congealed and come together on the things that needed to come together. You didn't use your executive powers for that. You didn't use it to put security in our schools. You didn't use it to uphold and preserve the Constitution. You didn't use your executive powers on any of the other things that really would have mattered the most. And I can talk for Hispanic people. I can talk for Latino people. I can talk for white people and black people, because all our issues, though they are different, they come and amount to the same things, because it's the same policies that affect us all. All I'm saying, man, is if you want to begin to live with yourself, be able to have sleep and a clear conscience, then talk to the American people. The damage has been done. We've been sold off. It's over. But talk to the American people and tell them what's really going on. Tell them what's up, and behind some of these closed doors, what's happening. You promised and you vowed transparency. Remember that early on? You would let the American people view all the meetings and everything that were going on. And they really drunk that Kool-Aid. They did, because they thought that you would really allow them to hear the type of things that's going on behind closed doors. Yeah, right. Look, I'm not mad at you. But the only way you deal with some of these issues that you're dealing with, calling me out here at 3 a.m. to talk because you're feeling guilty, can't sleep, got so much blood on your hands. You can start by making things right with the people you need to make them right with. You can start by canceling out some of the things that you've pushed through, or at least giving power back to the people. If you've broken somebody's heart, you've broken somebody's trust, you've mismanaged so much authority or power that they've given you, the way that you fix that is not by saying, I'm sorry, not by saying I'm wrong and giving them some sob story. Nobody want to hear that. But you turn around and you take the power, the resources, the finances, everything that's at your disposal, and you give that back to the people that gave it to you, so that they can take that and put that in the area that'll benefit them the most. That's how you start, and that's what you can do. And if it's already sold off and gone off to somebody else and you didn't hold that, then get something new to give them. It's been real with you, man. I got a family at home. I got to get back, man. Been real with you, though.